Indian Scott digging through the past. Crazy tales they uncover fast. History's stranger than you think. They'll also talk about wieners in a blink. They'll talk about wieners in a blink. Oddball history.
Boom, boom, boom.
How.
Welcome to today's...
I was looking for some tush.
Speaking of looking for some tush, we're going to be talking about Victor Lustig.
Victor Lustig, first ballot Oddball History Hall of Honor member.
The man so nice, he sold the Eiffel Tower twice.
Two times. He did that shit. He was just the best. He's the coolest. I read a book about him called Victor Lustig, The Man Who Conned the World by Christopher Sanford. That's where pretty much everything I'm going to be talking about comes from. Fantastic book. I highly suggest it. And yeah, it's going to be a real good time.
Yeah, the gentleman grifter.
The gentleman grifter. He truly, he's like Forrest Gump if he conned people.
Yes,
he is just like... Yeah. Amazing. It's going to be a real good time.
You know, I was writing stuff down, and I was looking up, like, I love the con man so nice, he sold the Eiffel Tower twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, that feels Don King.
The King of Con.
The King of Con.
I thought of that one.
The Count of Confidence, the Baron of the Bluff, the Master of the Masquerade. I'm just looking for things that kind of have alliteration now.
No, yeah, I like it.
But in the process of that, I looked up Don King quotes. And he was such a hilarious dirtbag.
He was.
That one was, I never robbed nobody that didn't want to get robbed.
Damn. A lot of boxers out there being like, I did not want to get robbed, Don. I said that specifically to you.
He's like, shut up, Tony.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, meathead.
Maybe you fucking idiot. And then my favorite one is a direct quote from Don King, the boxing promoter, is, I'm the greatest black man that ever lived, and I'm saying that humbly. That's the kind of guy Don King was.
It's also funny to look back into the past. Like, I remember Don King as like this kind of cartoonish character from boxing. He would be around all the big fighters, and he was kind of this funny character. And then you read his background, and he was a ruthless,
bad man.
He was a bad dude. He beat a guy to death once, and they know he did it because when the cops came in, he was still beating the guy. And they were like,
it's usually
guilty.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to do that, pal.
Is that guy dead already?
Not even in the 60s, and I forget where he was. Some Midwestern city, I think.
Did he go to jail for that one?
I believe he did.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I believe he did. Allegedly, by the way, all this allegedly. I don't want Don King's people's coming. I have to imagine he's a litigious man, Don King.
I have to imagine it's squandered by now.
Well, all the more reason for him to be litigious.
Exactly.
Take a bite out of our asses.
All right. Well, as always, before we get into Count Lustig, the top comments.
Top comments of the week. Ooh. I went a little sexy on that one.
Before we jump into the top comments, let's set the mood with a couple of oddball jokes inspired by history's most notorious tricksters. What do you call a con man with leprosy? A leprechaun. Here's another. A homophobe, a child molester, and a con man walk into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, "What will it be, father?" Now that we've got the mischief rolling, get ready for some of the wildest and most unexpected comments from history fans just like you. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and let's see what the internet's sharpest minds have to say about history's oddest moments. Chaos reigns.
Like and subscribe. Mash that motherfucking subscribe button.
All right, so our first comment is from Velvet Spectre.
Lindsay, shout out.
She tagged us in a story and said, think of y'all every time I see this. Now, this is back to the Hear Me Out.
Okay. All right.
And so Javier Bardem wanted to phone home with E.T. The Dune star revealed the character was his childhood crush.
Oh, wow.
So his Hear Me Out was E.T.
That's legit. That's some real Hear Me Out
you gotta
territory.
Explain that one, which, like, that's E.T.
I'm not seeing it.
See, I mean, I'm sure it seems squishy.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, has long fingers. Has that long.
Yeah, you're getting a reach around from E.T. That's going to be.
Yeah. It's going to be, I mean, you're going to look like a jack-o'-lantern. Because he's fingering you. Remember, that's where I was going with that. Because his finger glowed, remember?
It's like all the OnlyFans girls that have the light up butt plugs that they wear under shorts. Have you seen those Instagram reels?
I haven't seen those, no.
Me neither.
No, I'm behind the times on butt plugs. I'm just getting used to the idea of the tail ones. You know,
my wife got mad at me, or she didn't get mad, but it was funny.
You were wearing a tail.
I had my butt plug tail in.
You come home from a long day at the fire station and take your pants off, and you just have a fox tail. She's like, "What? What are you doing down there?"
When I get home from the station, I'm going to be Star Fox for a little bit. I have to get into character.
Do a barrel roll. There's bogeys all around.
Just watch your frog friend die all the time.
I'm kind of selling myself on the tail now. I feel like
I get the allure.
Like we've invented a very fun scene.
Yes, but what was I talking about? The butt plug. Oh yeah, there was a girl on Below Deck that her and her friend were like talking about it and like looked her up on Instagram, and she just had like very tiny bikini pics of her all oiled up and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my God, this is so graphic."
Yeah, you got to if you're on Below Deck.
Yeah. You got to. And I just looked, I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, that's just like Instagram."
Yeah.
And they were both just like, "No, it's not."
It's like, hello? It's like Maxim magazine tops.
Yeah.
I feel like. I know what you're talking about.
But your algorithm is the things you engage with, and I tend to engage with an oiled up lady more often than
Well, fair enough.
my wife.
Well, fair enough. You know, yeah. Did you know CIA agents would have a butt plug with like tools in it? Like it was like an officially like you would put this thing up your ass, and it was kind of like a travel toothbrush holder, but it contained like files and pics and shit. Yeah. So anywhere where you were jailed, you could poop out your escape turd. As they called, I don't know if they called it escape turd, but they should have. But anyway, I learned that this week.
It's just the weirdest scene in the A-Team.
Yeah,
when all five of them are just kind of like,
exactly.
All right, what all tools
That's a lot of it. That's the part they leave out of every spy movie. They just show you them escaping with a cool grin on their face. It's never the.
A real worn out guy is just assembling a sniper rifle.
Yep. They're like, "Oh, he's the best.
He's the best.
He has an ass like a cargo ship, this guy."
And then she sent a meme, still on the hear me outs.
Yeah, sure.
She goes, "Boys will hear me out and show you a conventionally attractive woman. Girls will say hear me out and show you this." And it's the Eye of Sauron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Eye of Sauron is very powerful. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
I think there's just, I'm being too literal about it. Where I think of it as a thing that I would want to fuck.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I like the idea of like fresh cut, like a well manicured lawn.
Yeah, that's a good smell.
But I don't want to, don't want to finger bang it.
Yeah. You don't want to use a trowel and dig a little hole and have your way with the lawn. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Why did that sound more like an instruction manual? Yeah, that would be crazy. That would make Thanksgiving weird next year, wouldn't it?
That would make it really weird. The people at Scott's aren't going to like it. They're going to be like, "We did not put all that effort into this great lawn fertilizer for you to just dig it up and then give it a pounding." That's not what we're doing it for.
When they say pound sand, they don't.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. It's not a well-manicured lawn.
All right, and then the next one is from episode 82, the graphic we post on Mondays of History's Got Talent.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Haji Ali?
Of course,
He had his famous trick where he would...
the great regurgitator.
He would swallow walnuts and then like an almond.
Yeah, no, he would swallow... I forget which was which, but he would swallow a bunch of one kind of nut and then have a different kind of nut, and then he would
could
bring it up,
the one nut that he wanted.
And then whenever somebody was like, "Now bring up the special," he would do the thing.
And so we accused him that a lot of people thought it was like a magic trick and that he was cheeking the one.
Cheeking the nut.
And so, Cheese got jokes.
Shout out Cheese.
Shout out Cheese, funny guy, local. He just goes, "Your mom cheeks the nut."
Damn.
Cheese, you piece of shit.
Roasted.
So I go, "Cheese out for vengeance." And he goes, "Long time listener, first time commenter. Going for a top comment of the week from the top rope.
I like it.
Welcome aboard.
Honestly,
our mothers, our delightful, nice mothers, have nuts in their mouths.
It's true.
So I hope you feel like a big man, Cheese.
Yep.
Hope you're proud of yourself.
Real nice.
way to go. You know what?
One portion,
podcast canceled.
One portion of the podcast should just be us scolding someone, just being really disappointed.
There was a lot of that. This was from the Roman Bear comedy clip. This guy commented on it. They did this to the Greeks. They'd invite them to recite poetry and play instruments and then fill the arena with man-eating animals halfway through their act. There was as many gay Romans as Greeks, but the Romans were masculine gays, and they looked down on the effeminate Greek gays, so they would mock them for it. Hey, we play pretty loosey-goosey with our sources.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was a top versus bottom rivalry between the Romans and the Greeks.
Yeah, and it's so specific. I'm sure there's like something,
Someone's told them.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the here's nor there's of Roman versus Greek gay beefs. But it could have, sure.
Oh, did you see the guy that followed the podcast? Dom Beef?
I don't
Dominant
think so.
Beef.
Okay.
That's and he means dom in the sexual term of a dominant, and he's beefy, and he's a big jacked gay guy.
All right.
Big old bulge in some panties. So welcome to the show, Dom Beef.
Dom Beef, shout out. Happy to have you aboard.
This was also from the Roman Bear comedy, where the classic comedy routine of just unaliving a guy. And then I said it would still crush on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
People loved that.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, a literal lynching would be better than Kill Tony. And he goes, as long as it is Tony. And then they're also going, if the internet weren't deathly allergic to the real world, I would use it. There was just killing a guy. Stop being such a cuck.
Yeah, they got mad at him for saying unaliving.
I was like, there's a weird Venn diagram of people that are like, fucking free speech, my guy. Like, don't say unaliving, just say kill. It's fine. Mm-hmm. And then they're also like, Kill Tony is pretty gay, though.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I thought that was a Venn diagram I didn't know
really
existed.
Funny.
Yeah.
I was following that thread kind of loosely through the week. It was hilarious. Good times.
So thank you, Rogan Sphere, for changing slowly over time.
Yes.
Also, we have to do an oddball correction.
Okay. Probably lots of those, for being honest. The guy played a liar, for one thing. I got yelled at that a bunch. I did change it in the caption, but I said flute. The guy played a liar. Also, recently realized I was talking about Alfred Hitchcock and Tippi Hedren. Alfred Hitchcock was like a monster to Tippi Hedren. So shout out on that. I don't think I knew that.
Okay.
He kind of blackballed her for turning him down sexually.
That's not good.
And yeah, she didn't work for a long time because of that. But everybody loves him because of his hilarious fat cheeks, and he walks into the silhouette. And it's the birds is so funny when the guy gets smashed into the gas tank. Sure it is. I forgot my point there, but
we have to make an oddball correction.
Yeah.
Just Scott enters diatribe about Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
That's on brand, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So Johnny
We're just
Appleseed,
learning, you know?
You said, I'm calling Scott out on this one.
Okay.
You said the Golden Delicious was a Johnny Appleseed invention.
I read it was.
It wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was invented decades later in West Virginia.
Bullshit. When? Name the guy.
Name the guy. I thought he wrote the year down.
I don't trust this.
Well, Scott's a liar, everybody. We're going to have to do a small break as he Googles this. This is called vamping now.
This is vamping, and I'll tell you
how wrong you are. You just want to put the phone up?
No, wait. Okay.
I
did read it was, but I'm I'm also open to the idea that was bullshit.
For our audio listeners, the phone has gone down.
The point is,
Google search has ended.
Look, that's not important. Who invented the Golden Delicious? That's when you know I found it. I'm like, it's not important. Just forget about it.
Yeah.
Probably we should just move on with the podcast. No, shout out. Whoever did invent the Golden Delicious, I apologize. And I apologize that Johnny Appleseed has been going around taking credit for your hard work.
And Stacy Swiss 307 goes, a simple Google search would have told you this.
Well, yeah, I guess it would have. We just learned that. I just did that, so... So I guess you're right. I literally proved her point before we even read the comment. Yeah, well,
a simple Google. Yeah, I Googled it, and I am wrong. So
be that as it may.
Yeah, still funny story.
So in the story, nobody knows who invented the Golden Delicious. Could have been Johnny Appleseed.
Could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody.
This was on one of the football history ones where Maddie writes words. Shout out.
Comic from Denton.
Yep. And he goes, I'm
Matt
still stuck
Solomon.
on Tom Brady's like a dog at home commentary from earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Which I think that's been making the rounds on the internet a little bit.
I knew it would. It was one of those that he said it, and I was like, that's going to be on Twitter.
Just a guy threw his helmet down, and he goes, well, hey, man, sometimes you just got to, whether it's your helmet or your dog at home.
Yeah. Everyone's like, whoa.
Tom, stop. Which I wanted to go through a few of the times when someone should have stopped talking.
Okay.
But didn't.
Okay, and a deep drive to left by Castellanos. Do you know that bit?
Well, what did he call them? The F word?
He accidentally said the F slur on a hot mic, Tom Brenneman, and then he was like talking about, he just didn't know that he was on mic. He didn't accidentally say it. He was referring to like a city as being very gay demographic. But anyway, so he says it, and then they come back from break, and he goes on this long speech about like,
I'd like to apologize to my family.
To apologize to my family. This is likely the last time you'll be hearing me for a while, and it's very heartfelt. And then Nick Castellanos drops a bomb, and he has to go, and that's a deep drive to left by Castellanos. And since then, Nick Castellanos, if you know, he hits anytime they're talking about something that's kind of uncomfortable, if they're like, our fan so-and-so died today at 103, a veteran of Iwo Jima, he'll hit a bomb. Yeah. Anytime they're talking about something that it would be funny to hit a home run, Nick Castellanos hits a home run. That's incredible.
I was thinking of the Everett Strooper, where John Heisman, his coach, was trying to describe him as a great player.
Yeah.
And then he kind of got a little gay with it.
Yeah, he really lingered on how good looking he was in the showers.
He was a great athlete, and I remember staring at him in the showers. And you're like, John, stop talking. Yeah. It was just his rhythmically moving, densely muscled body.
You know what else? It might have been the fact that it was like 1916, so no one had like muscle definition. Yeah, he was the only one. He's like, what is going on?
Yeah,
this is like crazy.
It was like a rarity.
Yeah, everyone's just like kind of boxy.
Yeah,
really strong but boxy. Have you ever seen Perry Mason?
No.
Perry Mason has this boxy torso. It's like no one on TV has that body now. Yeah. He's just a big box truck of a man.
And that was just everybody.
In a suit, and that was everybody.
And then my favorite of all time was Margaret Howe Lovett.
Yeah.
Remember her? She jerked off dolphins to teach them English. You got to listen to the episode.
Yeah. There was solid reasoning. I mean, not solid, but there was reasoning behind it.
She was trying to train this dolphin. It was in captivity. She would jerk it off to make him calm down because he was like in the throes of puberty and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was for a scientific reason.
Yep.
And when describing it later on, she goes, "It was not sexual on my part." Good. And then she goes,
start.
Sensuous, perhaps. Like, Margaret.
Oh, Margaret.
Stop it.
You could have stopped. You could have stopped.
Oh, and then Blake sent us a message, T-Burl. He goes, the listeners hate it when Scott makes jokes about Johnny Cash.
That's right.
First with Highwayman. I forgot about the Highwayman.
For Highwayman.
She's like, that's not what he fucking meant.
Which, by the way, Johnny Cash himself told his daughter he didn't know what his part was about. He was confused by it at first. So you can suck a dick. I actually learned that from another comment too. So thanks to that commenter, but not all the other ones that were yelling at me.
They were calling him a dumbass now for saying what we're all thinking, that he does sound like his porking at the beginning of John Henry's Hammer.
He
Lay
does.
off Scott, guys.
He does.
So thank you, Blake.
Whether swinging a hammer, whether sexually or not, it sounds the same. You know what I mean? Whether you're working or swinging your biblical hammer. I don't know if that's right, but your dick, I mean, sexually, having sex, your grunts sound the same.
I do like the idea of what we choose to censor when we speak.
Yeah.
Like earlier, we didn't say the gay slur.
Yeah.
And then we do say fuck. We do say dick and penis.
Yeah, that's not hurting anybody.
But I think from now
those are
on,
allowed. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Those are all fine.
Let's do a biblical hammer from now on if we refer to
biblical hammer. The old BH.
We refer to male genitalia. Biblical hammer.
Biblical hammer.
All right, so that's the end of the top comments.
End of the top comments of the week. Thanks for the top comments. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Right on in. Tell us where you're at. Tell us what you're doing.
Illustrious board of top comments.
Yeah.
I believe first place is Lindsay. Second place is Nick.
Definitely Nick. Yeah.
So yeah.
Farm welding.
All right. Cheese, you're at the bottom. But goddamn it, you're there.
Does Nick weld things?
I think so.
Is that
farm welding? Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool to weld shit. I've
nice.
never welded anything. It looks really cool. You wear that mask and fucking looks pretty sweet. Let's get into welding. Let's turn
This is gonna be a self-help channel. We just get into the trades. We're like we were making no money podcasting.
Look, we gotta just get a solid little 9 to 5.
Now we're starting our new HVAC podcast.
That's right.
So now,
do you think it would be funny if Davey Havok, the lead singer of AFI, had a brother who had like an air conditioning company called Davey HVAC?
That is very close to Havoc. I like it.
Because
I think
but he's like a blue collar guy, but he looks exactly like Davey Havok. He also has the thing and the angel wing tattoos.
White makeup on all the time.
He shows up to fix your heater in like a fishnet arm.
Did you see him making the rounds? He did like a big podcast. No, I listened to Davey Havok talk for like 2 hours last week.
Damn, I don't. No,
and he looks like your aunt from the 70s.
Yeah,
he looks crazy, but
yeah,
interesting fella. But yeah, today we are going to do Victor Lustig.
Victor Lustig, greatest con man of all time, probably. I mean, he seems to be
Austrian born.
Yeah, a little background on him. He was born in 1890 in Hostany, Bohemia, now part of the Czech Republic. He's a smart kid, but hates authority right away. He mostly because of his father's brutality. His dad, Ludwig, once trying to give him violin lessons, smashed a violin on his head. He hated authority. One time in his infant school, he told his teacher, "Leck mich am Arsch," which means kiss my ass. Probably mispronounced the shit out.
One of those I could have guessed.
Yep.
It really sounded like you said lick me some ass.
Yeah, it's like how Dutch sounds like silly time English.
Silly time English.
Is it Dutch? I think it is Dutch that sounds like that. But anyway, fun fact, Mozart has a song by that name that he did like at parties for fun. Leck mich am Arsch. But anyway, he got expelled for telling his teacher that, so he starts going to school closer to home, loved by students, hated by teachers. One school report in 1902 said he was, quote, retarded morally, an idiot in other respects, which, boom, fucking roasted, top rope. Fucking elbow drop from the teacher.
Have you seen the list of, like, they actually had, like, what stupid meant? Like moron, idiot, and retard all had like specific definitions of what you were capable of.
Yeah, like hobo and bum and tramp.
Yeah,
we're all different things. Different.
So I like when they say he was morally retarded and an idiot.
An idiot in other respects. That's just technical language.
So they're like, morally, the kid's a goner. However, there are some respects where you can get some stuff done.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, Yeah.
Not totally a lost cause.
From reading it from 2025 perspective, what a roasting. Makes me wonder. I don't think the timelines line up, but like, was there any chance this teacher was D.L. Hughley, king of comedy? Because good God, at 14, he goes to Paris for a week during the school Easter holiday and stays in a brothel with a madam who looks after him. The police come and get him after a week, send him home. And Ludwig sends him to a boarding school 150 miles away in Dresden. And by 16, he knows how to lay odds at a local racetrack, hustle grown men in pool, and make a quick escape whenever necessary. He also speaks fluent German, Italian, Hungarian, French, and English.
I'm stuck on spent a week in a brothel with a madam.
Yep.
He just had a mistress for a week at 14.
Yep. That was Victor Lustig for you.
He's just like, this is
he's just the coolest motherfucker ever, you know? Yeah, really funny. He spends his 18th birthday, just to let you know how he's already deep in the grifting game by the time he turns 18. He's in Budapest in 1908. He celebrates by renting himself a suite at the Nemetzi Hotel and presenting himself as an insurance company executive sent on a continental tour by his company back in London to appraise people's jewelry, which I don't know how this worked.
It's already an 18-year-old.
Yeah, an 18-year-old who I guess they seemed really put together.
Yeah.
Because people just walked in there and gave him their fucking jewelry, and he would
ran away.
He'd be like, I got this appraiser, I'm going to show it to you. But there was no appraiser, listener. There was no appraiser at all.
No.
He was just getting off. He did get caught, but he had an alibi. He said, I was with my wife, and they talked to some lady. He was like, oh, by the way, she doesn't speak Hungarian. And then
I'll translate.
They find a lady.
She said, we're all good here.
Yeah, and she says in like a mix of German and Italian, like, oh yeah, he was with me the whole time. And they let him go. So that was his 18th birthday.
But he started like really when he was getting better at conning people. As his main thing in his late teens, early 20s, is he'd be on transatlantic ocean liners.
Yeah, it was the golden age of that.
Yeah, and he'd pretend to be a producer on like Broadway and seeking investors for this new fantastic with like all the famous actors, and he would con people out of money to invest in these Broadway productions, and then he'd get off the boat and scurry away. Yeah,
he'd sell people both non-existent productions and productions that were real but that he didn't have the rights to, that he'd be like, you know that hit play? Turns out I have the rights to it. And so he would also on these ship rides, he would play poker with his mentor of sorts, Nicky Arnstein, the con man who would later marry Fanny Bryce, funny girl. But they would work as partners and just handle people at the poker table. Once they took $300 off like some fancy London gentleman. Mm-hmm. He's comes to the U.S. in 1916, already one of the best con men in the world, and he's already been picked up by police in Vienna for posing as a carpenter, and then on the room he was working in, he installed a secret panel that he then slid open when the room was occupied and just stole everything off the desk that was right there. It was a genius move. He did that under an assumed name, and then they could never find him. It was the same deal.
One of his main aliases was Robert Duvall.
That's right.
Which is funny because this was, a decade. It was because Robert Duvall was born in 1931. I had to look that up.
Hell yeah.
And so this was a decade before the famous one.
And it's really funny, too, how he gets the name Robert Duvall. He starts calling himself Robert Duvall in 1917 after he's been living in America for a while. When they enter World War I, all of a sudden he's like, I'm really American, actually. My name's Robert Duvall. He starts wearing an American flag lapel pin and talking to everybody about how awesome Liberty bonds are.
Yeah.
He's like, you should get some Liberty bonds.
Yeah.
And he does not. He goes into the draft board around this time to make a big show of how patriotic he was, and the board came away, of course, loving Victor Lustig. Or Robert Duvall, I should say. They said anyone who spends time with this individual cannot come away with any other impression than that he has been in the presence of an educated, thoughtful personality with a broad and comprehensive mind and a fine command of the English language.
Oh, wow.
They're like sucking his dick off. They're like, This guy's the coolest. He
Which
tells
is a
him he
thing
can't fight
throughout
'cause
of people.
his family.
People get conned by him, and they're like, God, he was so cool, though.
He was so awesome.
He was so awesome.
Even now, I love him so much.
I still love him.
But even as Super American Robert Duvall, he's a conman. He gets arrested right after the draft board meeting. He gets arrested like almost right away in Denver for selling electromagnetic curative machines, which he said cured gout, but which when inspected, it was just a wooden box with a light bulb and some string and a little buzzer from a kitchen timer in it. But he said it cured gout.
Which, hey, the placebo effect's a beautiful thing.
So
you know?
It is.
Yeah, he's like the carrot top of con men. He's always making little machines.
Yeah, it's a fun little. I mean, at least he went to the trouble to put some showmanship.
Yeah, have a buzzer
towards it.
But so in 1922, one of his biggest cons in his early career is that he went to a bank in Missouri and then took out like a loan with Liberty. Put Liberty bonds as collateral, but all the Liberty bonds were counterfeit. So then he just skipped town with the money.
Yeah. He really funny bit. Honestly, he told them that was this the one where he faked like a seizure? Because in one of them he like uses fake Liberty bonds, and one of them he used a real Liberty bond, and the guy took it and put it in his desk, and everything's good. And then he was like, and then he was like, I got water. And the guy said he went and got him water. He put on this whole show. And the guy said, it took me like 15 seconds to get him water.
Yeah.
But apparently in that 15 seconds, he had got up and taken the Liberty Bond out of the guy's desk and pocketed it, and then got back on the floor and was like, I'm better.
Wow.
I'm actually better now.
Overcame me so suddenly.
That was close.
And so in 1925, he's back and forth between Europe under all these aliases. He does his biggest scam to date, where he sells the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, twice.
That's right. He does it 2 times. He has already sold one landmark. He sold the Tower Bridge in London in 1914 to an Australian tourist. He said that they needed the money for emergency defense measures because, quote, the Huns are expected over at any time. He was just using World War I.
Yeah.
He was like making it more believable. But yeah, he has this crew, Dapper Dan Collins, a man originally by the name of Robert Tourbillon, also one of the best con men in the world at the time. Dapper Dan is a pants man. He's a fuck specialist. He seduces women at the heart of a lot of his cons are just seducing women and then having people posing as like vice cops bust in on him, and they're like married women, so they pay a bunch of money to have it go away. That's kind of his deal, but he's part of the crew. He goes over, and
Can you imagine what a terrible dynamic that is with your criminal partner to just be like, I don't want to be the vice cop every time.
Yeah.
It's like, you get laid, I bust in.
Yeah. And they're like, look at you, Tony. Look at you. You think you're the face man? I'm the face man.
Yeah.
You're Murdoch at best, to put it in A-Team terms. That's actually really good terminology, though. It was like A-Team. Hannibal was, of course, Victor Lustig. Face man, of course, Dapper Dan Collins. Dapper Dan Collins seduces a lady who works in the Ministry of Commerce, as he is wont to do. They start having sex. Eventually, he's like, hey, you know what would be really hot is if we did it in your office at the Ministry of Commerce. I'm really turned on by
bureaucracy. Just gets me going.
By civil service. That's what does it for me. So they go to the place, and he steals an entire ream of headed Ministry of Commerce stationery.
So with the stationery, all their things look more legit.
Yeah, so he now has a thing that's like a mocked up letter that's like, I hereby authorize Victor Lustig or whatever to.
And so Victor Lustig's whole thing with stealing the Eiffel Tower or selling the Eiffel Tower is that the government wanted to get rid of it, which I didn't know that the Eiffel Tower was hated by the people.
Yeah, it was really polarizing.
It was a big dirty thing that they didn't maintain well for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of people hated it, and then they started to like it a little bit during World War I. It was like a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer situation where they discovered that the Eiffel Tower could be used to to intercept German troop movements. It had kind of a use as like a radio tower. Tower in the war. So people didn't hate it as much, but still enough people hated it that it was very realistic. The idea of like, it was being talked about in op-eds.
Yeah.
Like, should we tear down the Eiffel Tower? So there was like a degree of realism.
So they were going to sell it for scrap to the highest bidder.
And they're super smart about it. They get a scrap guy in their crew, Maurice Rousseau.
And they wanted it to like be hush hush because they're like, the government knows this will be like a controversial thing.
Yeah.
We just want it to go away and quit being on our table. So they get all these like scrap metal people in this room, and Victor Lustig sells them on it, and he picks Andre Poisson as the biggest mark in the group, and then actually sells him the Eiffel Tower, but also gets bribed by him.
Yeah.
So he like allows him to be the one that gets conned. So he accepts a bribe and he sells the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, May 13th, 1925 is when the contract is actually put in front of him, and then he signs it, and then Lustig, and it's a genius move. He comes to him all embarrassed, and he's like, it's customary in these kind of deals that I should get a little commission, a bribe, if you will. And this is neither here nor there, but man, my kids are fucking starving. They're doing hungry. So bad. They go to school in an old slaughterhouse. There's still fucking meat hooks hanging from the ceiling. There's dried blood on the floor, my friend. Again, that's neither here nor there. A giant gorilla, not unlike King Kong, did eat my grandmother. That's neither here nor there.
Let me turn this iPad around for the tip screen.
Yes.
See what feels right.
So he's like, and then because he plays it so well, and because Paris was that corrupt of a city at the time, the guy's like, what kind of idiot do you take me for? You think I don't know how business is done in Paris? Of course I'll give you a bribe, my friend. And so he gets an additional 70,000 francs out of him. And again, this drives home the realism even more than the headed stationery. Yes. This guy's like, if he had any doubts before that Victor Lustig was an authentic Parisian civil servant, when he asked for a bribe, he's like, oh, well, never mind. He's clearly the real guy
in the government. That's awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
But he runs away to Austria, and they like keep checking the newspapers, but they assumed that he'd be so embarrassed by this that he wouldn't go to the authorities. And they were right.
Yeah.
And so, but they within the same year, they like didn't see it in the newspaper, and were just like, fuck it, let's run it back.
Yeah, Victor Lustig he's always planning. As soon as they get to Vienna, he's like, we should go back and sell it again. Dapper Dan Collins is not a fan of the idea. He says, we can't sell the tower again. We don't own it anymore. We already sold it once, which brings up the question, is Dapper Dan a shit for brains? Does he think they actually own the Eiffel Tower to begin with? But presumably Victor Lustig explained to him using a diagram and some puppets that they never owned the Eiffel Tower and that it would be fine. They own it as much as they ever did.
Yeah.
And so they go back.
We're morally in the same place.
Yes.
Before and after this.
Yes. And he
doesn't actually get, does he get the funds where he gets another patsy, and then the police find out about it, and he runs back to America. Yeah,
he clears 90,000 francs from the new guy before he tells the police and takes off to America. Poisson didn't even realize his mistake until several days later when he showed up for a scheduled meeting, he thought, at the Ministry of Commerce.
This is when we hand over the keys, right?
He shows up, and no one's ever heard of Lustig. No one's ever heard of, I forget, I think his... Dapper Dan was going by Monsieur Andre or something like that at the time. They'd never heard of him either. When he tries to find the scrap dealer, Maurice Rousseau, who seemed to be a good man, but he was terminally ill and had a wife and daughter to care for. So this was kind of like his big score to help his family out. A very beautiful thing. But they said he is at a sanitarium on the brink of death. Can't talk to him either. And the people are just like they just bust out laughing at a point when he's like, I own this.
Can I have my Eiffel Tower, please?
Which it's
like, who the fuck's this guy?
Also interesting in this story, people were selling the Eiffel Tower all the fucking time. This was not like a completely original idea. Like people were selling it. This one guy had sold the Eiffel Tower to so many people in 1921. He's only known by the name Grenet. He was a former soldier. When he was released from La Sante prison after serving 18 months for fraud, he required a 40-man police escort, quote, to hold back a furious crowd composed of investors who had each paid Monsieur Grenet around 20,000 francs for apparent property rights to the Eiffel Tower. So people that worked there were always having people come in, be like, hey, guess what, shitheads? I just bought this place and you're all fired. And then they're having to talk this guy down. And when they're talking that guy down, another guy walks in going, guess what, shitheads? I just bought this place and you're all fired.
That's like every never-ending lineup.
Literally every day through the 1920s. This is every day of their life. But yeah, this most recent buyer, he finds out he's fucked. Too embarrassed to go to the police. Lustig goes, like you said, to America. He goes to America, and shortly he's at the Dayton,
Ohio.
Tennessee.
Oh,
Dayton, Tennessee for the Scopes monkey trial. This is just... Victor Lustig is insane. It's just so fun. So he goes straight to America after selling the Eiffel Tower twice, goes to the Scopes monkey trial in Dayton, Tennessee, and he lies his way through the crowd saying, oh, I'm an old friend of the judge, John Ralston. He's an old pal of mine. They're like, oh, of course.
Oh my God.
Right on through.
Yeah.
He goes in the courthouse, inexplicably finds an unused room in the basement of the courthouse and sets up shop as the official vendor of like souvenir merchandise for the state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So he's just selling, I guess, like shirts and shit. I don't know. He gets a chimpanzee somehow wearing a straw hat and a little shirt to help him drum up publicity. Clears $700 on the day, which is like $1 billion.
Yeah, technically $1 trillion.
Gives 50 to the chimp handler and goes off with his driver Frank, who's constant in his story. He treats himself and Frank to a holiday down in Florida.
Very sweet of him.
With their $650 of Scopes monkey trial money.
His next big scam was the Romanian box, or the money box scam.
Oh yeah,
which he would take a mahogany box. And it had like levers and shit that like gears that would make noises like a watch.
Yeah, you could kind of put whatever you wanted on.
Yeah. And he would say it could counterfeit any bill placed into it. And he would always use 100.
It would take 6 hours.
So you'd put $100 bill into this machine, and he had another identical bill that was already made. That was a very good counterfeit. And then it would, or it wasn't even a counterfeit. He already had a bill in there.
Yeah, he had the real,
And so he'd put a $100 bill in. They'd wait the 6 hours, and he'd keep selling them on it. And then they'd get the real bill out, and then they would go to a bank and authenticate it. So this guy that he's trying to sell this box to would then give him like thousands of dollars because he has an infinite money machine now. The guy puts a $100 bill in. Now the 6 hour timer starts.
Yeah.
And Victor Lustig, in a cloud of dust, runs away.
He gone.
This
is a wild grift. It's pretty funny. It's funny. There was one guy that made his like explode, and that like helped sell it more. But this is a bold scheme. He one time, his driver, Tony, again, constant character in this thing. He loved Tony and Tony loved him. Mm-hmm. He kind of an Alfred in this story.
Yeah.
But he one time ran afoul of this gangster named Olin Starkey in Chicago in 1923. And Victor came away thinking, oh, this motherfucker's a bully picking on my driver, Tony. I'm going to ruin him financially. So he does. He gets his brother to like make a contact with him and then gets introduced to him and ends up selling him a Romanian box for $50,000. Then immediately, because Olin Starkey's a gangster, he then goes and gets his wife and kid and heads straight to Kansas City, as he's wont to do. Starkey gives a hitman $2,500 to kill the man who swindled him, but he thought his name was D.R. Crissinger of Ohio. So the guy could never find a D.R. Crissinger of Ohio.
That's the best possible outcome, where you're thinking like just some guy working at a shop.
Yeah.
Gonna get murdered.
There was like a politician with the name close to Dr. Kissinger too. They mentioned in the book, which good for him. He wasn't
murdered
found.
By this fella. He sold the box to a sheriff in Texas one time, and he ran away to Chicago. And the sheriff was so pissed about it that he went and tracked him down and actually found him in Chicago, cornered him like where he lived. And Victor Lustig doubled down on the thing and went like, no, you're just using it wrong. Here, let me show you. And then he goes, for the trouble I've caused you, like, take this bag of money that I have next to me.
Take this bag of totally legitimate money.
And then he gets out and runs away, and it's obviously counterfeit money.
Yeah.
This is a classic, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Victor Lustig is fucking Bugs Bunny to the authorities. He is fucking stopping just short of tying their guns in a knot and making them shoot themselves in the ass. It's like one time he was a little Robin Hood action. If you remember the animated Robin Hood, he was one time, the feds spotted his brother, Emil, and then they figured if we track him, he might lead us to Victor. So they follow him and it leads them to Victor. But the guy's a little like lagging behind. He's trailing Emil, So Victor sees the guy coming before he sees Victor, and Victor's standing there with his limousine or his Rolls Royce with his driver Tony there. And there's a homeless man, a blind homeless man selling pencils. He's like wearing rags and a hat and dark glasses.
Yeah.
And so Victor Lustig gives him $100 bill. Tells him it's $100 bill, because he's blind, and then trades shirts with him, shuffles him in the Rolls Royce, tells Tony to drive, and then he's standing there in rags with a cup of pencils, selling pencils. When the agent finally gets up there, and he's like, "Sir, could you help a bit for the blind?" And the guy put money in his can.
He scammed the cop that's looking for him.
Straight up Bugs Bunny shit.
Straight up Bugs Bunny. In 1929, he scammed Al Capone.
That's right.
By not scamming him. This was a weird one.
It's kind of hard to tell exactly what happened.
He went and borrowed $50,000 from Al Capone.
Yeah, he meets Al Capone in his office at the Hawthorne Hotel in Cicero.
Goes and puts that $50K, just hides it in his house. And then a couple months later, he goes and returns the $50K and goes, hey, the deal fell through. Like, I won't be able to do this investment, but here is all the money that you gave me back. I apologize for the inconvenience.
Yeah.
And Al Capone goes, man, what a good, honest man. And then Victor Lustig goes like, hey, also, we fell on hard times. Like, is there any way you could float me some cash? Now, with all this brand new goodwill, Al Capone gave him $1,000.
I read it was $5, and that he gave it, but I don't know. They're like varying. But the point is, Victor Lustig seems to have been like, I should maybe not try to fucking swindle this guy so hard. Possibly
like,
having
let me
to
swindle
do with
him less hard.
When he went to visit Capone in his office in Cicero, he's very proud of his like suite that he used as his office. It had like a bulletproof shutters on the window, and then while he was sitting there talking to Victor Lustig, he's like, all right, I'll give you the $50,000 you're asking for. And then he reaches under the desk and presses a button a la Mr. Burns. And a panel behind him, there's a portrait of George Washington and a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. And the two panels part and a hole in the wall opens up. And there's a guy sitting at a camp stool with a machine gun pointed at Victor from like above Capone's head. And then Capone goes, that's how serious I am. Which, like, I might
release the bees.
I might, release the dogs with bees in their mouths, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you. That's what Al Capone was saying.
Yep. And then he died in 1947. Before then, he actually ran like a very successful counterfeiting operation.
Yeah, that's what got him caught up eventually for real. Is starting in 1930, he got with a chemist and a pharmacist, and they started pumping thousands of dollars a month.
I said every month.
From 1930 to 1935, what they called Lustig money was being just pumped out.
This was about 50 years from the peak, but in like the late 19th century, they said almost like half of U.S. currency was counterfeit. That's like why the Secret Service was founded.
Yeah,
we've talked about it before, but
yeah, that's right. And he, and again, not totally. It's also his womanizing. It's very characteristic of Victor Lustig the way he gets brought down, because it's Billy May Scheibel, the leader of the prostitution ring, and Madam, who he's been sleeping with for years and years, and he sleeps with her girls too. You know, they're thick as thieves. But she gets really mad that he won't stop sleeping with other women, and eventually tips off the authorities in 1935. He's jailed, blames it all on his partners, but they don't buy it, and they find a key on him. This is another thing that really pisses off the authorities. They find a key on him, and he won't tell them what it's for. And then eventually they find out on their own that it goes to a lockbox in the Times Square subway station, and in that lockbox is $51,000 in counterfeit money and the engraving plates they use to counterfeit the money. So he's real fucked on that count.
Like, oh, what?
He does make one
key open that door.
Oh, that key. I didn't.
Oh, jeez.
Somebody
else uses that locker all the time.
Y'all should have been more clear. Y'all should have been more clear about which key you meant. But he does make one more great escape. He escapes from the Tombs, the federal house of detention in New York, and lowers himself down. I can't remember if he left a note.
He left a note for the maids because he had to leave quickly, so he didn't have a chance to clean up. So he left a note apologizing for the mess he'd made. And then climbs out.
Terribly sorry.
Would you imagine a guy just like sliding down a hastily made sheet rope, just hitting the ground, and then just walking casually away?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So he ruled.
It's so Victor Lustig. He was caught in Pittsburgh 27 days later and sentenced to 15 years plus 5 for his escape. He went to Alcatraz and eventually,
died of pneumonia.
Yeah, he would have died there, but they sent him to Springfield, Missouri, to some prison hospital there where he finally died.
Yeah. So,
but he was a great man.
I was going to go through real quick. He had the 10 commandments for con men, and it was be a patient listener. It is this, not fast talking, that gets a con man his coups. Never look bored. Wait for the other person to reveal any political opinions, then agree with them. Let the other person reveal religious views, then have the same ones.
Hell yeah.
Hint at sex talk, but don't follow it up unless the other person shows a strong interest. This is all decent chit-chatting advice.
Yeah, that's how to win friends and influence people stuff right there. Him and Dale Carnegie would have had a lot to talk about.
Never discuss illness unless some special concern is shown. Never pry into a person's personal circumstances. They'll tell you all eventually. Never boast. Just let your importance be quietly obvious.
Yeah.
The rule against boasting.
By like wearing a big dick shirt. By like wearing a shirt that says, like, indicates you have a big dick on it.
Yes. Who did that joke? Tom took Carr. Have you worked with him before?
I haven't.
He's a New York guy, and
but he's funny. Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen his stuff.
He had a joke about they should like have a big dick tax. Or it'd be the only tax people would be excited to pay.
That's so
like
true.
You couldn't admit to it, but you'd be like, man, fucking tax season's tough, right, guys?
Yeah.
And you're like, shut up.
Rough.
Never be untidy and never get drunk. Those are Victor Lustig's 10
commandments of the grift. Yeah, he was just a couple more of his scams that I thought were extra funny. In like 1921, he took his daughter and his wife to a racetrack, and the racetrack in Saratoga, New York. And he's like, I'm putting $350 on the opening race. I have a very good feeling about the outcome, wife and daughter. Wink, wink, wink. Do you see me winking? And then so he takes them there. He has bribed the jockeys to finish in a certain order. But then one of the horses stumbles out of the gate, cuts off another horse. It fucks the whole thing. So Victor, he is imperturbable. You can't sway this man. He just pivots. So he watches his play go up in flames and just walks to his car, gets out a soapbox and a professional-looking banner that advertises him as a bookmaker named Kosher von Kessler, no wager refused. And then he takes everyone's bets, gives them very professional-looking vouchers, and then as soon as the race gets going, the first race after he's pulled this. So I guess the second race,
Yeah.
everyone's watching the race. Him and his wife and daughter run out to the car and book it. He also wants
It'd have to be stressful to be his daughter, just periodically when dad's like, go, 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 go. You're like,
that's
shit, run,
her
run, run.
whole life. Her whole life is being woken up in the middle of the night,
Like, hey,
being
we're
told,
going.
"Hey, some guys are coming. We gotta, we gotta go." In 1922, he went by Count Kokum. He was capitalizing on a post-World War I boom in like spiritualism and seances and shit. And he would do these bits where he would like have messages from beyond that. He would like hold a card to someone's forehead, and then the card would say a message from like a dead person. Sometimes Abraham Lincoln.
Wow,
Not
he'd
bad.
show up.
And then other times he did this thing
Could you
where
imagine just be like, oh my God, Abraham Lincoln
said
said I should make sure to get plenty of
keep
rest.
on trucking. Wow. Thank you, Victor Lust. And then he would do one where there were messages on a little chalkboard, but he was writing them like with his toes. He was just writing the messages with his toes. In the September 4th, 1922 New York Times, he actually made the paper. His last performance of the season ended with a bunch of skeptics and true believers pelting each other with shit.
Yeah.
Toward the end of his ceremony, and he just ducked out. Of course, being the great con man that he is.
But yeah, that concludes this week's topic of Victor Lustig.
Damn
fucking rules.
Damn peach. He's
Everyone
so
talks
fun.
about how smooth he was, and you see pictures of him, and he's like, kind of just like he has the bad bald spot, and he's like looks a little worn down by the end, but.
Yeah, I believe he was as smooth as they say. You got to remember too. This is like this is like turn of the century. People were a lot uglier back then. I think, as a rule.
Very true. But
rougher.
Yeah. So hey,
looking.
Subscribe to this.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our personal pages and come see us do stand-up comedy sometime.
That's right.
I'll be in San Diego on October 28th at Mic Drop Comedy Club. On December 7th, Scott's headlining in Grapevine, Texas. I'll be featuring for him.
Hell yeah.
December 19th and 20th, 4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. I'll be headlining Rose City Comedy Club in Tyler, Texas. And then 10/24, 11/1, 11/13, 11/14. I'm putting on Don't Tell comedy shows all over Dallas and Fort Worth. So come out to one of those. 11/19, I'll be in Prosper. So, yeah, those are my shows. You got anything?
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I got Friday, November 7th, headlining. Did you say that one?
I said December 7th.
Okay, Friday, November 7th, headlining a Next Stop show at Firehouse Gastro Park in Grand Prairie. Saturday, November 15th, I'm at Herman Marshall Tasting Room in Wiley. I cannot read today. November 22nd, I'm at the Bearded Monk in Denton.
Bearded Monk? I haven't been. That's like an open mic spot from...
Yeah,
way
I've
back
been to
in
like
the day.
a bunch of stuff there, but just
Yeah.
like randomly through the years.
I used to go to
It's a good
Denton
time.
all the time. I started in Denton and Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And I've never not lived in Dallas. I didn't know how to get into any of the places.
Yeah, there used to be so many shows in Denton.
Yeah. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was
It's
all
a
like
good-
college
good
age.
town.
So like,
Yeah, there's like a solid market
they were
for
all
it, I feel
bad
like.
shows, which was perfect for people just starting out.
Yeah.
But let's see. I had a funny thought where I got real nervous because Taylor and I were watching Is It Cake?
Yeah.
And it's after a long day. We're sitting on the couch just watching stupid TV. And they do a reveal. They cut the knife. And both of us audibly gasp. We just went, oh, it's cake. Which I was like, oh my God, we have a child. Like, we're morons.
What was it? What did you think it was?
I forget. It was like a Christmas
A
ornament.
manhole cover.
Yeah, I thought that was...
How
I thought that was a block of concrete. That doesn't seem...
Yeah, I've heard that show's insane. I've never watched it.
Have you heard Pete Holmes make fun of it? Mm-mm. Apparently he was a guest judge, and he was like, in person, it's very apparent which one is cake. It's like the one that's reflecting. Like,
that's hilarious.
So he kind of rained on that parade a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then I was laughing. My wife and her mom have the same OB and I always giggled because I always wanted them to like look under the towel and then be like, wait, you Carrie's girl? I thought you looked familiar.
That would be a good bit.
That'd be a good bit, but sadly, it never happened. So.
Yeah, probably. That's probably why they still go to her or him.
Yes, he doesn't do any.
He doesn't do any funny. Hello. You know that one?
Decent gyno.
That's on like a cartoon.
No bits. He had no bits.
No funny bits. Yeah. No crack 'em ups.
No crack 'em ups. But you got anything going on, Scott?
I've been getting really into the show Perry Mason.
Okay.
I talked a little bit about Perry Mason's hugely boxy body. Yes, but we're the original. The HBO one's also really good. The remake.
Yeah.
There's 2 seasons of it, but the original with Raymond Burr. It's a fantastic show. I love it. It's basically the same thing every time. Basically, what happens is there's like an innocent, usually very hot lady finds a dead body. Okay, so she's like, oh no. And then the cops find her, Lieutenant Tragg. He's this little fucker who's always bothering Perry Mason. And he's like, this lady did it, I can tell, because she's by the body. But she's represented by Perry Mason. And then we have District Attorney Hamilton Berger, also part of this loser brigade that's always trying to go against Perry Mason.
Was it tongue-in-cheek at the time of having a character named Hamburger?
Maybe. I truly had not even thought of that. Not even thought of that
Burger,
once. Hamburger? Oh my God. Oh, that son of a bitch. But anyway.
Didn't mean to derail you for a hamburger joke.
But anyway, so they're always so goddamn confident, Berger and Tragg. They're always like, well, this is a clear, fucking easy murder one conviction. And Perry Mason's like, I'm about to fucking put my nuts in y'all's face in court. So bring it the fuck on. This guy, Hamilton Berger, he loses every case. I don't know how he doesn't just shoot himself in the head in open court at a point, you know? Because his
life is just being made a fool and professionally.
Yes. You would think after the 40th or 50th time that the exact same thing has happened, that in court he not only disproves all your shit, but finds like the real killer usually. You would think he would just scream no and end it all, you know?
That Danny McGow is a local comedian. I was working with him this past weekend, and he has a joke about the X-Files. Have you heard him do that? Where it's all just about, what are the characters' names? Scully's the lady. Mulder and Scully. And he was making fun of like Scully is always so negative and shoots down Mulder's conspiracy theories about aliens and shit. And he was like, the entire series. He was like, it's season 2. Yeah. She's personally interacted with 40 aliens.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
And she still is just like, get out of here. Like, I'm a lady of science. Like, we can't be just blaming aliens on everything.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you gotta be like, hey, but every time it's aliens.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing. You would think at a point, Lieutenant Tragg wouldn't be so goddamn cocky.
No.
You'd think he would realize, like, oh, no, this is going to turn out to not be the case, is it? Yeah. At a point, you would just go, Perry, just tell me you did it. Just tell me you did it.
Yeah.
We know you know.
Same team, right?
We know you know. But it's a really good show. It's a fun show. Good gang. Della Street is his secretary, and Paul Drake, his private investigator.
Nice.
It's a good group.
My favorite thing is the end of Scott's notes of trying to see them. Because Jimmy John stole my elevated pizza bread idea.
I also wanted to talk about that. Those sons of whores. Let me tell you about this. Jimmy John's, those motherfuckers, they clearly have been spying on me. So when I was a boy, a treasured childhood treat I would have that my mom would prepare for me was pizza bread. Yeah. Very simple. Piece of white bread, spread some ragu, piece of American cheese, you melt it. I've recently elevated the pizza bread. I thought of it and I was like, I'm going to do that, but on like a fucking bolillo roll. Ooh. You know, one of those bolillo rolls from Kroger? Got a fresh bolillo roll, cut it in half. Elevated pizza bread. Like 2 days later, what do I see? Their fucking pizza sub. Those rotten motherfuckers. They owe me money.
Jimmy or John, whoever it is, pay Scott. All right.
Yeah, that's right. Your signs are delightful. I'll give you that. The free smells. That's funny.
That's
you
funny.
know because the smells are free everywhere. You know? Most places anyway.
What are the places where they are?
Disney.
a very specific OnlyFans experience? Or?
I could see them trying to monetize smells.
Yeah.
They just haven't got to it yet. We actually probably shouldn't put that idea out there.
Yeah. It's going to be the next thing they steal from Scott.
We're going to get our asses taxed off next time we want to talk about a smell. I also was reading, I finished A Line in the Sand, that Alamo book. Fantastic. I especially loved, it's all so badass. You know, they knew they were going to die, all those men. And there's a part I didn't realize about the story. I didn't realize some of the guys like had their families with them in the Alamo. So like this one hero of the Alamo, Gregorio Esparza, he, as a Tejano, I believe it was Davy Crockett, told them like, y'all can, guys with families, like y'all can take off if you want. As Tejanos, they kind of had, they could kind of just walk out out into the town, you know, and But Gregorio Esparza says, no, I will stay and I will die fighting. It's the baddest ass part of the Alamo. And then even badder ass than that, perhaps, his wife, Anna Salazar, goes, and I will stay with you, and with our children die too. And then one of his sons goes, what was that, Mom? What were you saying?
I think a few of us should probably go, though, right?
Hey, what was that Davy Crockett was talking about? I don't think we should just dismiss Davy Crockett's plan out of hand.
He's a leader around here. So he's had a lot of good ideas so far.
Look at his cap. What a man who didn't know what was what. Wear that cool coonskin cap.
Something to think about.
Was that Davy Crockett that wore the coonskin cap?
I thought so.
Was it Daniel Boone? No, it was Davy Crockett.
Boone had the knife. Crockett had the hat.
Bowie had the knife.
Bowie.
Yeah. I'm an alligator. And he's killing people with a Bowie knife. Oh, the story about the Bowie knife, too. You know why the Bowie knife got famous?
We're doing improv now, baby.
Listen,
we're just free flowing.
This part was crazy. The Bowie knife. I'm never going to say it right again.
The Bowie knife.
The Bowie knife. AKA the Starman knife. But the Bowie knife got famous because Bowie was like the second in a duel, and in the duel, like I don't remember what happened, but they shot each other, and then like it devolved into chaos. But some judge who had a beef with Bowie took the opportunity and shot him. He was like, free shot, and shoots Bowie. Bowie then chases him down with a bullet in his torso. He chases the guy down and kills him with his namesake knife, and says to people afterwards, oh yeah, I turned that bitch. I don't think he said that bitch probably, but he said he turned it. And after that, the story goes to the papers, and everyone in America's like, gotta get me one of those knives. This is a great.
Pretty sweet.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So shout out. I don't remember who wrote A Line in the Sand, but it was really good. Check it out from your local library.
So with that, we bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Hail Satan.
Au revoir.
Jimmy and Scott digging through the past. Crazy tales they uncover fast. History's stranger than you think. They'll also talk about wieners in a blink. They'll talk about wieners in a blink. Oddball history.